we went down there one day to sit quietly and to pray. And I took my flutes down with me. It was an amazing day. So I was sitting there quietly playing my flutes and listening to the surf come in and looking at the altar on Table Mountain. And a man walked by slowly carrying a bag of rocks. And I thought, okay, that's interesting. And at first I wasn't sure what they were, but then I looked again, and yes, he carried a bag of rocks. So I continued to play and to pray, and he came back, and sure enough, shortly a few minutes later, he walked by again and carried another bag of rocks. Thinking, now who does this, right? Who goes to the beach and collects these giant bag of rocks? And again, a third trip. And finally, on this third trip, my curiosity got the best of me, and I said, "Sir, could I ask you a question?" And he said, "Certainly." So he put his bag of rocks down, and I said, "I've been sitting here, and I've been praying, and you're carrying these rocks back and forth. Can I ask you what it's all about?" He said, "Yes, absolutely. I'm taking these rocks to my home to craft a space in my garden. I grow succulent plants. I grow cactuses, plants that require very little water. And I wanted to create a beautiful space for these plants that require so little. I wanted to give them so much. And I went to the store," he said, "the first time, and I bought rocks," he said, and I brought the rocks home, and the bag of rocks was broken, and they were discolored and didn't smell good. And it's just, he was totally disappointed with the rocks he had attempted to purchase. He did that 2 more times. He went back to the store 2 more times, and he got the same result. He got these bad rocks, not good rocks, these rocks that weren't fitting for the sacred space he was trying to create. So then he had that blinding flash of common sense and said, "Hey, I bet there's some beautiful rocks down at the beach, down by Table Mountain, down by the cathedral." And sure enough, he was there that day, and he took me down. We went down on the beach, and we saw absolutely the most glorious rocks you've ever seen, and shells, mussels and oysters, and teeming wildlife, beautiful shellfish teeming everywhere. Water so clear you could see all the way to the bottom. And so I said to him, why have you come here today?" He said, "I've come here today because I realized something. I tried to buy what I didn't need, when all along what I did need was here for no charge. It was here. It was always here. But I felt like I needed something more, something better, something more expensive. So I went to the store 3 different times, and I was disappointed every time I went. But I came here for an hour, and I got 3 of the most lovely bags of rocks I've ever seen. And my cactuses are going to be happy because I'm creating this beautiful sacred space with treasures that I didn't buy, that were simply gifted to me for no reason." And so I was sitting there after he left, and it was pretty amazing. And I was thinking about today's gospel. Today's gospel, I was the stranger on the beach, and how the disciples didn't recognize Jesus right away. Didn't recognize him. But then, after a bit, they did. They recognized Jesus. They recognized that he was there in that space with them all along. So, saints, this morning's message is about recognition, first of all. recognizing those beautiful gifts and graces that come to us not because we deserve it, but because they are. Those beautiful rocks that Creator places in our path that we often disregard and think we have to buy something better, when actually the best is simply laying at our feet, waiting for us to recognize it. And then the next message this morning in this beautiful gospel is about trust. It's about trust. About trusting in that decision to take the grace blessings that Creator and Jesus have put at our feet, to go ahead and take them and use them. Because the apostles, they had fished all night. Remember the story? Thank you, Donna, for the gospel. They have fished all night and didn't catch anything. And so 12 hours later, Jesus is telling them, well, just go out one more time. Just go out one more time. And I think my natural instinct would be, absolutely not. I just fished for 12 hours. I didn't catch a thing. What's different now? I'm just 12 hours more tired. You know, I just have 12 hours less bait. I have 12 hours less energy. I don't think so. You know, it's like a little like right now, if Jesus said, Father Joe, I want you to get on another plane and I want you to fly back to South Africa. It would take a lot. It would take a lot. But they did. You know the story. They got in a boat and they caught fish after fish after fish after fish. And it's about trust. It's about trust. It's about